Okay, we are live. The first thing I want to toss out there is if I sneeze and blow my nose, apologize. I'm fine. I'm not sick. I came down into the basement and just all of a sudden, so I hit some dust somewhere that's not agreeing with me.
Oh, that's not nice. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is rough.
just, yeah. I'm not sick, but boy, yeah. I just all of a sudden it's just a piece of dust, and so that's why I'm sneezing and. I'll try to walk away from the mic if one comes up here, but just a public service warning. So
Fair
how you
enough.
doing, Asleep?
Yeah, I'm doing thanks, Style. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's been for us together, well, 2 weeks, right? Or has it been three?
I think it's been two.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we had that one in between that I covered for you,
That's
and
all right.
and then I was missing last week because I had the convention on Saturday that was insanely early in the morning.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yep. Oh,
Uh,
well,
Hopefully, we're back
was
to
nice to get
normal
together again.
schedule on a weekly basis. I don't have any more conventions scheduled right now until next August.
Great.
So I'm dressed to go fishing.
Well done. Yeah. And hey, fishing's a big thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's why I dressed for it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is my fishing vest that I bought back when I was young,
I like it.
and I just got it out, and it shrunk a bit. I didn't know.
Yes.
This type of material shrank, especially when it's been in an attic. But it shrank.
Wow. It
Yeah,
did.
it,
Yes.
it just shrank.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and
You
they used
didn't
to fit so
expand.
high. Yeah, and so I could still get it a little bit zip, but not very much. But
Wow. Okay.
we need this in Shroud. We need some
Oh, we
fishing.
do.
You know,
That's right.
we need some
Absolutely.
hats. We need some vests.
Yep.
Like I said, I bought this when I was a kid, man, and people made fun of me about it for a very short period of time. And
Right.
then whenever we went fishing, because I fished all the time as a kid growing up on the river, and whenever we went fishing, they stopped making fun of it when they were carrying around a tackle box and I'm hands free because I had just whatever I needed for that day in my vest pockets.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it?
And I didn't have to carry around a tackle box.
That's
Uh,
right.
so I think they need to
Yeah.
get in game, maybe make it a back wearable that actually goes on over your chest or whatever you're wearing. You could have a wizard's robe on, and then
Yep.
tacky, just like I look right now, tacky, where you just
Yes.
throw the vest over this glaringly bright clothing or whatever, and you can go fishing. And then they could also make it a container because of the
That'd
pocket,
be great. Yes. It could go in your cloak slot, as you say. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And then as an alternate option, and this is the one I got later in life. Similar sort of thing. But without the life vest properties going on there
Oh, yeah.
for the expert swimmers.
Very
And
nice.
you got all your pocket, and you can get these in versions where they'll have the little wool patch to put your flies on and so forth.
Yep.
But you got pockets galore. You put your extra line, your extra spool in here. You clip some of your flies up over here. You got your fishing knife over here, whatever. You're good to go.
Just what you need.
And then
That's fantastic.
you got your trusty fishing, your trusty Marlboro fishing pole right here.
Yep.
You're good.
Perfect. Ideal to go jump in the lava.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Don't forget the lava boots.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, you need some pretty strong boots, don't you?
Yep.
Okay. So, and how's it been this week? Been into the game at all?
Yeah, actually, nothing real exciting, just crafting, fishing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't done much of the fishing with the new release yet. A little bit today, but that rolled out yesterday. And I was going to bed at the time that the update was being done.
Right.
And then I got up late Thursday night, and I had about 12 hours, 14 hours of fishing. But I haven't had a chance to. Most of that was fresh water. I did a little bit of salt water, but there's a bug right now.
Oh yeah. What's that?
Are you're familiar with the fishing bug we have going on?
No, I'm not. No.
There's a problem with, and it might have been fixed in a couple of the hot patches that just took place today or what have you. But the bug that I was encountering, which people were talking about on the New World chat, is that say you're fishing in the ocean and you're pulling salmon and bass.
Yes.
That's not right.
Okay.
Last I checked, bass and salmon can't live in salt water. So there's a water, we have the 3 water types: fetid, salt, and fresh. And you're pulling fresh water and stuff from a saltwater spot.
Okay.
So the fishing's broken as far as not all the fish are coming out of the right water types at the moment. So hopefully they get that fixed pretty soon, because I know for me it was frustrating to take the time to go to the ocean, find a good fishing spot, and then sit there and pull the same fish that I was pulling in freshwater, occasionally getting a saltwater fish, but not the way I should have been.
Okay.
So I haven't went and found a swamp spot yet, because I was kind of waiting to see if they get that fixed here real quick, because I'm sure it's something they'll be taking quick action to resolve.
Right. Well, that puzzles me, because on a trip to Canada some years ago, we got the blurb from all the guides and stuff like that, who told us that, yes, salmon, they spawn up in the rivers and then come down and then go out into the ocean, and they will spend about 4 or 5 years or so out in the ocean and then come back to the river that they were born in, up the river to spawn, and then they die.
I've never heard that.
Right. Okay. So that is the story that we were told. So I can only repeat what I heard. But yeah, the big journey that salmon undertake towards the end of their lives, when they are like maybe 4 or 5 years old or something like that. So they will go back to the very same river that they were born in.
Right. They always go to the same place.
They do. And they will fight their way up the waterfalls, up through Hell's Gate on the Fraser River, which is a bugger of a place for them to get through.
Fantastic sight.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, you see all those, just like a rainbow on top of the water, because they're going. It's like they're swimming on top of the water because of all the rocks. And
beautiful. And of course, all the bears are waiting there to catch them as they're coming up river. And then they get up to the
buffet coming to you for free.
Exactly. That's right. Then they get up to the end of the river, lay eggs, fertilize them, and that's the end of their life. And by that time, they actually look quite different. They look pretty mangy. So, okay. All right. So, yeah, you might catch a salmon out in the sea. But anyway,
it's definitely
that's by the by.
It's definitely not intentional. It's definitely not an intentional thing at this point in time. There's a known issue.
There is. Okay. So they're planning to make salmon a freshwater fish.
That I'm not sure, but I mean, in general, there's a problem. You could go to a fetid fishing spot, could pull trout.
Right. Okay.
Right now, there's an issue with the water type. Well, like I said, it could have been I was on yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
It was much talked about. Also, there is not trophies for or the recipes are not in for all the trophies yet either.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm sure that'll come in the hot patches. It usually does.
Yep.
So,
and I noticed we were getting some hot patches out last night or this morning, or I don't know, whatever it was, when I was going to bed.
Yes. And I noticed in the time I've been on already, when you dial up the looking for group business, and usually there's people going off to upper tiers. Now there's people who are having a fishing party.
Sure. Sure. Well, and when I'm logged in, I've been putting the word out there. When I'm logged in with Style Teckle, which is STILE space TECKEL, which is most days 12 hours plus per day.
Yep.
That's what he does. Is he mostly fishes.
Wow.
So, and I'm GM, and it's a public invite if anyone wants to come fish for that group bonus. Just message Style Teckle, and he'll invite you to his party. And if as long as I don't have a group I'm with, if I'm currently by myself, if you have a spot you want me to go to, I don't care. I'll go fish anywhere. I'll teleport to you and fish with you. Otherwise, you can teleport to me. I own a city lot that is on a island in Elad's Lighthouse near Gilder Falls, and basically I own the whole island. And you can walk around that island all day, all night long, because it's large enough and fish to keep your spots hot.
Oh, right. Yes.
That, from my property, there are 3 special fishing spots you can fish in. Directly off the front of my house, there's one on a pier next to the pier, and then there's a pier across the little lake that I'm in. That if your fishing's high enough, you can hit it too from my shore. If your fishing's not high enough, well, you just swim across and fish from the other pier. Take the ferry across, because I have a ferry also.
Yes.
Or you go around to the back of the island, and this one you have to swim a little bit, but you just swim a little bit towards Gilder Falls, and there's another one at the bottom of Gilder Falls. So and then I set up a vendor, and I did this for, not really to sell goods, because who's going to sell goods on an island up a fishing vendor for decorative purposes at one point. It's everything you can get for fishing. Actually, Lord British bought a tackle box, which is a backpack renamed tackle box from at one time. So
great.
So everything you need for fishing, including a trained GM, fit on bait release yet with Style. I have it with my other character Oddjob, but Style's at about 90, 91 on bait saving, or whatever you call it. I almost have that GM. And I already had fishing parties going yesterday.
Fantastic. And you've sussed out the whole place by the sound of it.
Yeah. Yep. And I'll move around. I'll go other places. I don't care. Like I say, I'm not going to be real talkative. I'm usually working on other screens. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
Sure.
I'm working on other screens, doing my job, and I'll be like this. Couple minutes go by. Oh, click. Working on other screens. Couple minutes go by. Click. And I'll talk, I'll chat. It's just they'll be delayed. Someone will send me a note, and I'll be working on something for a few minutes. I'll come up and say something. So it's just a slower, delayed conversation. But I'll chat, and then you get that bonus if that's what you're needing.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, that's really what fishing is all about, isn't it?
Open to anyone. I mean, that's open to anyone in the Shroud of the anyone that plays the game anytime they want. Come join Style Teckle. Free. There's no charge. There's no, by the way, you owe me 50,000 gold for the last time. No, there's no charge for it. It's free. I mean, if you want to send me a donation, that's cool. But I'm not really requesting. It's not real. That's what I'm doing all the time anyway, and more than happy to share that bonus.
That's fantastic. Good on you. That's
have
great.
A little fishing company, drinking ale. Isn't that what fishing's about? Is the company and you're drinking beer?
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
And you can go home and say, "Yeah, I was participating in the sport today."
Yes. I sat there in my deck chair and drank 6 tinnies, and caught a few fish. Great.
Unfortunately, that happens. Sometimes you catch them even though you don't want to.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, we've got a new release, and it's number 303. We're playing release 59, and there's a deck live stream and all that sort of stuff. So great. And as always, we've got game development and news announcements. There's a lot of those, and a lot of community updates happening too. So that's great. Right, moving right along into the first item, release 59 has been launched. And yeah, I'm very happy to see release 59. So we got fishing phase 2, which we've been talking about, as we've said, as you've said, as I've noticed, even a lot of people are getting into fishing. I think they're going to love this.
We have the new world chat, and that's all everyone's talking about in it.
Yeah, really? Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. It's all...
I've experienced the universal chat, and wow, there's a lot of chat going on.
There is a lot of chat going on, and at least when I was logged in, which I went to bed about, I just got up. So much like you,
Yes.
even though we're on opposite sides of the world, this is my breakfast.
Great.
But I went to bed. I went to bed about 6 hours ago. Prior to that time, while I was up, that's all everybody was talking about. Now I don't know if that's still the big topic of conversation, but 6-8 hours ago, for about a 10 solid hours straight, the majority of the conversation in the world chat was fishing.
That's great.
People saying what they caught, where they caught it. Asking about where the recipes were, asking why am I catching this in fetid water, things like that, and but mostly that and baits, people finding some of the new baits and so forth.
That's right. Yes, yeah, people are talking about that in the guild chat, and I told them, I'm finding a few hoppers on the cotton bushes.
Yeah, my question on that, and I haven't went out looking for the answer yet, is do you find those on farm cotton or only in the wild?
I've only been in the wild.
Yep. See,
I don't know. Yes.
I thought about throwing some cotton plants down and seeing if you get those from farm too, but
yeah. I can only tell you what I found that's only in the wild. So yeah, they could be on farm cotton as well. I don't know. All right.
It'd be nice. Farm your own cotton.
Oh, it'd be lovely. Yeah, then you're farming your own bait as well. That's great. Okay, Pumpkinhead and his minions. We got the revamped new user experience. Universal chat, as we've talked about. Boy, there's a lot of activity. So there are people in the game, believe it or not. This is great. And decay has been removed. I tell you, a lot of people are loving that. And I personally, I am here to say that I think that's a great decision. It prompted me to do something that I never would have thought of, or not for a long time anyway. I actually went down and visited the Rise.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, if I die, I die. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Sure. But I found my way to it, dropped down the hole, and I am here to say that it is challenging because you got the elves running around there, the archers, the mages, and the footmen and stuff. They're running at about 1,400 hit points each, so it's no mean feat.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard work. It's challenging, but it's doable.
Yeah. It's doable.
Absolutely doable.
Mm-hmm.
And I find one at a time, which is how they usually come, I can fairly well handle it. 2 at a time is a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I did it once and they did me once, so the honors are even. So that's okay. But yeah, never would have gone otherwise. Go
ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen to a lot of areas in the game. A lot of areas people were too reticent. They're too afraid to go because they're going to lose too many hit points. It's going to be too painful. But now I think people will be moving into these areas and giving it a go and finding out that it's actually not that horrible. Right.
I was going to say, one of my biggest frustrations sometimes with Shroud of the Avatar is just kind of along the lines of what you said. One's tough. I can do it. It's a long battle. 2, it becomes a nightmare. It seems like there are very, very few opportunities for one-on-one combat. Everything's mob orientated. We need some areas in Shroud where if you're a more casual PvEer, meaning you don't want to be in that, boom, and I got to run over here, and I got to do that, and I got this guy over here, and I got this guy behind me, and I got to run, and I got to jump. If you want to be a little more casual, and you just want to have that focus of a good combat 1 versus 1 at a time, there are places to do that as opposed to all these groupy mods. And I also find it a little immersive of breaking sometimes because it's like, come on, is there nowhere I can go in this world where everyone isn't grouped?
Yeah,
Every
right.
wolf is in a pack. Every bear, there's 10 of them. Every person, there's 30 of them. There's no hermits. There's no, I think we really need to see some single one-on-one combat actions as part of some of these changes.
Sure.
So that it's not always this high, fast-paced, strenuous combat. Sometimes you want a little bit of a challenge,
Yeah.
but we're thinking about that.
A realistic challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more focused.
Speaking of that, I also went to the Lost Vale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you been there?
No, I've heard it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it sort of is. Yeah. I made a mistake the first time I went there because as you go in the entrance, there's some ghost-type dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I forget their name, but they look ghostly and they're walking around. I thought you had to defeat them.
Okay.
So, of course, I started attacking them, and there's about 3 or 4 of them at least at 1,400 or so points. So they all gang up on you and kill you straight away. That's no future. Somebody told me you don't have to. If you ignore them, they ignore you. So you just walk past them. That's great.
Right.
Go to a temple, and you find a little child there. You have to do 3 tasks, none of which I've done. One of them, you're effectively teleported back to Hilt, and you have to sort of witness the overthrow by the obsidians. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you get about 6 or 8 or 10 ebon cultists coming at you. I can do that. That's fine.
Mhm.
The second wave is 4 or 5 ebon cultists, along with Indigno, the Kabbalist. And he's got about 11 or 12,000, whatever, hit points. That's just too much. I couldn't do that.
Sure. Especially when he's got that again, especially when he has 4 people against
That's
you.
right.
So you have 5 targets. Yeah.
That's right. And they have 1. Yes.
Right. And they have 1.
Yeah.
And it's
not nice at all.
Never get that opportunity to have a one-on-one fight. I get really, really frustrated with that with the game sometimes.
Yeah. That's right.
I'll be in a, say, tier 3 level area, and and I'll be like, yeah, tier 3 is no problem whatsoever. And then all of a sudden there's 10 things, 12, and I'll be like, this isn't tier 3, this is tier 20 right now. Because I got to draw, because too much got pulled or whatever. Because get 2 groups instead of 1, and they're too close together. Yeah, I would love to have some more one-on-one solo fights. I really would. Now, not to say there aren't any. There are some. The Troll is a very popular one.
Yes, yeah, I like them. They're good.
Yeah. The Troll is very popular. It's a one-on-one fight. He's not easy. He's kind of that game checkpoint that says to a lot of people, oh, I'm starting to get decent. I can solo the Troll now.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. But the second place I went to in that context, somebody who's in a drain, whatever, he's going to drown unless you can defeat 2 waves of the cultists, whatever. And you got 2 minutes to do it.
I was going to say, did they throw a time limit on it? Yeah.
Absolutely. I can do it, but I couldn't do it in 2 minutes. Not in 2 minutes. Yeah, yeah. Because as an archer,
anytime
I can, usually take 1 person at a time. So I could get him down, but get a little message. No, he's drowned. Sorry.
Anytime game throws a challenge at me, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, a challenge!" And all of a sudden, the timer comes on. I just want to be like, "All right, I'm not interested longer."
Yeah,
you just
fair
lost
enough.
Put a timer on.
It sucks. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a group place for sure. All right. So, but I'm glad Decay's been removed because I at least tried them, and it was great. Okay, spooky dungeon entrance patterns we got performance improvements, we got tons of bug fixes, and yes, they fixed one of my favorite ones. Awesome.
What's that?
The Fleet Flute now works on the Overland map again.
Good.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. The user interface polish, we got the Ether Dragon is in game from the R56 live stream. I've seen a couple of those around already.
I have not seen the Ether Dragon. However, I did see an Ether Dragon head on a vendor.
Oh, nice.
It
Great.
was priced way more than I was spending.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. And the live stream items for R57, QA testing incentive winners for R59, and the lottery raffle winners and all of that. Okay, as always, check out the instructions because, hey, things have changed. Things are changing all the time. It's amazing. Okay, for detailed information, download the game. We got player instructions. We got the known issues. There's a bit of feedback from players, which is good, which is really encouraging. Inner Skill Inch says, very impressive amount of work done and excellent quality of life changes. Great work on listening to your customers, Portalarian. Very excited I am. Cordelane says, this made my release. Great work, Port team. This was in response to Pumpkinhead. So, okay. Somebody likes Pumpkinhead. That's terrific. I'll have to go and find him.
There were some people talking about trying to solo him. I think it was in the Nobles channel. Someone was talking about it yesterday, and they're just like, I can solo it.
Well, if they can't, I'm sure I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. Bripey84 looks hot, ready to try it out. Good work. Love the game. Serion says, great work, team. Keep the creativity flowing, and please know your efforts are deeply appreciated. Rothmeridius says, this is great. Thank you. I continue to be impressed by your team. Bulgarian 3 says, outstanding. The efforts toward game enhancements are greatly appreciated. Can't wait to see what is around the corner. Neil MHK says, it's really exciting to say goodbye to Decay. Thanks to the design team for making this valuable decision. It is definitely moving in the right direction. The more the team pays attention to the players' feelings, the players will be full of expectation for each update. We'll also feel the joy of the game. Sarah Dragon says, I'm so excited about the fishing going in. Kudos to Port for taking the time to develop something so deep that even I get excited about it. Fantastic work. Okay, so there you go. It's been very well received. Awesome. Now, next item, there's a deck building live stream at 4 p.m., which, of course, has been and gone. So I hope a number of people caught it. And if you don't catch it, of course, you can catch it later on YouTube. But they were talking about deck building. And it allows you, as we know, to build a set of skills around a theme and equip them along with associated gear. You can be built to be a class fighter, so like a fighter, a ranger, mage, etc., as well as you can tailor it specifically for certain situations. So you can build a special build for PvP or for boss fights, etc., which I've tried to do, but not with a great deal of luck yet. And in release 59, they start you with 3 decks now instead of just 1 per path. And polish the visuals for the deck builder UI. They have. I saw that and took me a few seconds to work it out. Oh, yeah, buttons are in different places and does the same thing. It just looks a bit different. So they thought it'd be a good time to have the guys in to walk you through the fine points of the deck building mechanics. Now, this is the first Friday to earn the release 59 fish-themed stretch goals by making a purchase or participating in the rewards program. And just as a reminder, they're having massive sales up to 50% off from noon to midnight on Fridays to help us hit them. And this is what we're in line for this month. For 10,000, you can have some fish pavers, or for 25, there's a fish throne. 35, a fish mask set. 50,000, a big trophy fish stone statue set. That'd be nice to have out in your yard. 65, a fish shield and swordfish sword. 75, a big fish mask set. That's for shark and lava fish. Nice. And for 85,000, there's a unique dungeon encounter room with a fishing spot. You can go fishing in your own dungeon. Cool. And for 95,000, there's fish scale armor. And we're giving out prizes, so that's great. Alrighty. And you can watch it on Twitch.
I don't have a dungeon yet, but if we get that, I'll put a dungeon up.
Yeah, brilliant. There's a few dungeons going up too, and everybody's getting excited about that.
Nothing but a bunch of fishing spots. You know, I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, great. Okay. Now the R59 live stream, which is coming up, that's set for Friday, November the 2nd. Everybody around the world is welcome to join. They, as usual, doing deep dives, answering questions, sales, prizes, tracking towards the stretch goals as they usually do. And, of course, in honor of fishing phase 2, the theme is fish. Guess what? Okay. And it's running from 3 to 7 p.m. as usual. There's a deep dive about fishing, then Q&A, another deep dive about boss behaviors. If you've ever wondered why you can't beat any of these bosses, it's not because you're just weak and incompetent like me. There might be a reason. So have a look at that. More Q&As and ending announcements. And as we've mentioned, if you make a minimum purchase of $5 during this 12-hour window, you get all of the stretch goals that we've just talked about. Brilliant. And, of course, it's all fish-related. So there you go. And, they've repeated them here. So there we are. Any time for the 12 hours of the day when the live stream is on. So 12 hours on every Friday this month. Anytime you make a purchase, it'll contribute towards these stretch goals. And, of course, they do remind us if we actually succeed in getting these stretch goals, then they, very embarrassingly, have to go away and make them, don't they? And they're not there in the shop already. So, yeah, they might not arrive until release 61. They have to sit down and design them and write code and all that sort of jazz. So, yes, they will come, but might be a couple of releases. Okay. Also, they're having 12 hours of sales around the live stream. And a lot of items in these categories will be about 50% off. So cool. If any of these appeal to you, like Make a Difference items, home decorations, outdoor decos, lot deeds, POT upgrades, homes, basements, pets, music, emotes and fireworks, dyes and patterns. If that sounds attractive, get into the add-on store during the 12 hours, around the time when the live stream is on, and they could be up to 50% off. Awesome. And there are prizes, of course, as there always are. Prizes every hour. Enter for a chance to win the prize by logging into the game, and you type "reel it in" into chat, or by purchasing any item from the store during the live stream. Either way will get you into the contest. And you can get a fishing sign, 9-pack, yeah, nice, a wood duck, an ornate umbrella, a Viking bathtub, a gondola water decoration, the Pirate Galleon Town water home, that'd be nice to have, the player-owned town village water lot conversion, and a player-owned town village water lot property deed. Very nice. So some nice prizes there, and well worth having. Also, as usual for the live stream, they would like us to submit questions. They'll answer as many questions as they can. So put them in the comment section of the post, or during the event, you can fire it up on Discord. And they'll be trying as hard as they can to read Discord and to respond to as many questions as possible. Please, everybody, not more than 3 questions all up. And if you've got a bug, we'll put it in the bug forums because that's where it goes. If you want to ask any question about when is this coming, Okay, it's in the quarterly updates or it's in the release plans, so not appropriate at the time. If you're going to write a paragraph, you're wasting your time and everybody else's because they won't have time to read it out. So keep it short and sweet, and they'll be able to get to as many questions as they can. Perfect. And finally, there are a lot of repeat questions, stuff that's been asked 25 times before. Try and go through previous live streams and see, what you want to know might have been asked and answered already. Awesome. Okay, so there we are. That is the live stream coming up. Now, next item, you can upgrade bundles with crowns. Another new initiative. That's nice. As many of you know, they say, we're expiring all of our bundles before the end of the year. Viking and Kobold bundles will be expiring on November 30. Elven, Obsidian, and Shogun bundles will expire on December 21. So you've got lots of warning. If you want to get a bundle or if you want to upgrade whatever, you've got plenty of time. In Release 59, we'll be adding the contents of the bundles to Crown vendors as single purchases. So you could just buy the lot or the house or the furniture or the clothing, whatever. But they won't have any upgrade functionality. You can't upgrade them. But based on numerous requests from those of you who've been saving up your crowns, there will be an alternative path for upgrading bundles using crowns, which is one thing you can say about Portalarium. They do listen.
Yeah, I have a guild member that's been saving their crowns up for as long as they've been a member of my guild.
Yeah.
For that reason, and they've been pretty frustrated.
Okay.
So this will be good news for them.
It will be. That is fantastic. So it is one thing you can say about Port. They certainly do listen, and they certainly try to move the game in directions that will please most of the people most of the time. So for a limited time, now this offer will end on December 21. Okay, that is a warning. That's a heads up. You can purchase a service voucher so that you can then use crowns to upgrade your bundle. So the question is that everybody's crying out now, how does this work? How is it going to work? What do I have to do? Right, if you want to do this, number one, send them an email, support@portalarium.com. That's before you purchase a voucher. Okay, send them an email first. Say, I want to do this. Can you help me? I'd like to purchase a voucher. And tell them what bundle you want to upgrade and what bundle you want it to upgrade to. So you want to, okay, say you've got a 2-story row tax-free bundle to a village tax-free bundle. Okay, that's just an example. Right, so they will determine how many crowns you need. They'll come back to you and say, right, you want to go from A to B, you will need 65 crowns for that, whatever. And they will tell you how much. Then you can decide whether you want to do it. Only then you go and purchase a voucher. And then they know what you want it for, so you buy the voucher, and they will then remove the crowns from your inventory. So you don't have to sort of send them the crowns. You've given them a heads up already. Say, I want to move from A to B. They said, yes, you can do that. That will cost you X number of crowns. Go and buy a service voucher. You go and buy the service voucher, and suddenly that number of crowns will disappear from your inventory and you're upgraded. Piece of cake. They will be using the exchange rate for crowns, not the special for sale, special rate that's currently on the store. I think you'll be paying full price or full rate for the crowns. Okay, so as long as everybody's okay with that, if you want to upgrade a bundle from now on, that's how you do it. Still possible up until December 21. Great. Okay, and in the bundle store, right, all bundles are on sale, some as much as 30%. And you got the Viking and the Kobold bundles, the Obsidian and Shoguns, all of that. There you go. And that's just a few examples there. The starters, the wings, the clockwork pets, the tool upgrades, and the tool and potion upgrade bundles. There you go. From 140 something down to $100. So have a look at those. Good value. Okay, next item is 50% item Fridays and 20% Crown Weekends holiday sale. So yeah, a lot of stuff on sale for the moment. A lot of items are on sale, 50% off every Friday, noon to midnight, until December the 21st. That's to celebrate the first holiday season since launching. And there's the first sale on gold crowns. Some packages discounted as much as 20% through December 21. So there you go. You want to buy stuff? A good time to buy is always a good time to buy is Fridays, because stuff is a lot cheaper. Right, and this is sort of repeating what we've already said, but they're just reminding us that these bundles are expiring. Elven, Obsidian, and Shogun bundles, they will be disappearing on December 21st. Now, as a limited time bonus, they've added Episode 2 access to the bundles. So they're expiring several of the items that are included in these bundles, including pets, weapons, decorations, and homes. And they're also discounting them. It's like a going out of business sale. Although the game's not going out of business, it's just the items. It's a final expiration. Upgrades will not be allowed after these bundles expire. So there's a whole lot of stuff here, which probably won't bother going through, but a lot of bundles, a lot of Elven stuff, a lot of Obsidian stuff, homes, weapons, pets, whatever. Have a look. And if any of it is attractive to you, get into it before it goes. And the same goes for the next item, which is, of course, the Viking and Kobold ones. Again, same story. They're expiring November 30, as we said. And big discounts. And another list here. A lot of Viking things. Weapons, shields, pets, wearables, homes, chests. Okay, lots of stuff there. Have a look at that. They are heavily discounted. They are on sale until November 30th. After that, they will not be available and you won't be able to upgrade what you've got. So think about that. Alrighty. And the next item, another reminder about the physical goods shipping. This is a post by Serafina, just reminding anybody who hasn't done it or doesn't know about it yet. A lot of people have their physical goods and some haven't. They're getting a bit impatient. So thanks for being patient. They have had issues with the address verification system. It was somehow inadvertently unconfirming addresses. Okay, they've taken out the bugged system. Didn't work, so they've thrown it out. And if you're due physical goods but you haven't got them yet, they will be shipping them in phase 2, which is scheduled for later in the 4th quarter. So what do you need to do? You just need to make sure your shipping address is filled out. Go to your Edit Profile tab and check the box that says, ship my physical rewards to this address. That box has to be checked. Make sure your address is correct. There's a little box where you tick, says, yeah, there you go. Ship my rewards to this address. You must click on that. And then right down the bottom of the page, there's a little bar that says Update Profile. Once you click on that, everybody's happy. So there you go. Now, if your address was confirmed before, it should be checked already. Just make sure. Just go in, make sure. And of course, if you're shipping outside the US, you will need an international shipping voucher. It just helps pay the cost of the postage. The deadline, people, is November the 2nd. So please get it in before that, and you will get your physical goodies, which are very nice. Okay, next item is the Shroud of the Avatar boxed editions. Now, these boxed editions are indeed lovely. A lot of us have got them as part of the rewards. This is what's coming out. Anyone who missed the opportunity to buy it during the Kickstarter can now buy the retail boxed edition from Amazon. It's on the shelves. But for a limited time also, there is a signed version of the retail boxed edition, and you can buy it directly from the Portalarium website. So these two versions are on sale for $40 off the regular price until December the 21st. So you can rock up to Amazon and get it for $49, or you can rock up to the Portalarium website and get a signed one for $99, which is pretty good value. It includes the game box signed by Lord British, a game manual, a DVD in a case, runic translation card, an Ankh trinket, a cloth map, and a little booklet about our epic origins, which is a fascinating read, by the way. And, of course, the digital stuff, you get the digital download of the game, which is full game access. You get 30 bank slots, you get a gold crown, 1 obsidian potion, the digital download of episode 2. You get episode 2 access with it, which is great. The title of Visionary and an exclusive emote, which is something they're going to create later. So that's very nice. Very well worth looking at. All right, the next item in the news is about last week's live stream, which was about the revamped new user experience. If you didn't get to see it, as I generally don't because I'm asleep, it's up on YouTube. And it was all about the new tutorial area in the Isle of Storms, rebuilding Solus Bridge, the new way that they're guiding people to get into the game. So, yeah, great. If you want to see that, it is available. And there's a link there in the newsletter. You can follow through that. And the stretch goals for Release 58 were all about dragon themed. They got as far as the dragon bow and the dragon plate helm. Didn't quite make it to 80k. Didn't quite get the sword and polearm.
Got the bow though.
I got the bow. Oh, I'm happy. Yes. Yeah, I'll be putting that pattern on one of my bows. That'll be awesome. Okay, so yes, as I said, there is the link there in the newsletter. In case you missed it, you can catch up with it. Right. Next item, the rewards program that we tell you about every week. I hope everybody knows about that by now. I hope a lot of people are participating. Remember, if you contribute $5 during the Friday, you get all of these lovely stretch goal rewards. If you forget and you're not there, you miss out on them. But if you contribute $9 a month on a recurring basis as a so-called subscription, if you like, it benefits the game. It benefits you because you're automatically always in. So you get 9 gold crowns every month. You participate in all their stretch goals. You get an exclusive title every 3 months, which is great. You can pick any die pack within every 6 months and 3 obsidian potions every month. And those obsidian potions are awesome. I mean, when I went to the rise, I was hopped up on everything I could find. I had my stats up as high as I could. I cast Air's Embrace to get my dexterity up. And then there's a potion of might, a potion of deftness, and a potion of acumen. So all the stats go up by 15 points. And yeah, you feel a bit stronger. Only lasts for 10 minutes, but worth it. Okay. All right. There is a weekend flash sale. It's all about water items. Gee, what a surprise.
Right.
Okay. Fishing phase 2, of course, multiple water types, over 30 new fish, new fishing skills and recipes, and all more stuff like that. So, everything remotely connected with water. Water homes, lots, decorations, and related items, they're on sale this week, including the entire water.org Make a Difference store. So, if you can find some connection to water in all the items, they're on the add-on store for 20% off this weekend. And that's one hell of a list, people. So, yeah, there's signs, there's magic signs, there's wood ducks, there's umbrellas, there's bathtubs of every shape and description. There's even a wooden outhouse. Well, yeah, okay, that's to do with water, I guess. There's boats, there's fountains, there's, houses, water houses, so galleons and things. There you go. And packages, and even a rain emote. It's all there, and it's all 20% off this weekend. So get into the add-on store if any of those items are attractive. Fantastic. Right, upcoming events calendar. Well, as we've said, the weekly live stream's coming up. There's a dance party, October 29. There's a live stream. Release 60 coming up in November, 61 in December, and moving on to next year, we've got 62, 63, right through to release 69 in August. So there we are, long-term plans. This game is going to keep on getting more and more refined and better and more enjoyable all the time. March 8 to 17 next year is South by Southwest, and March 18 to 22 is GDC. So if anybody's interested or wants to go to either of those, that's when they will be. All right, next item. There's a community event, and there's a lot of stuff happening in the community this week. Well worth looking at and well worth going to. First of all, there is a Release 59 dance party with DJ Darkstar. This is a forum posted by Amber Rain. Okay, what is it? It's a dance party with Darkstar. It is at Club Sidious in Obsidious, which is a player-owned town. It's on October the 29th, so clear your calendar for that date, between 3 and 6 p.m. game time. And a lovely little introduction here. It says, Pixie, Kobold, Elf, and Sprite all are on their rounds tonight. In the wan moon's silver ray thrives this helter-skelter play. Fond of cellar, barn, or stack, true unto the almanac, they present to credulous eyes strange hobgoblin mysteries. Pumpkin stumps, straws wet with dew, apple skins, and chestnuts too, and a mirror for some lass shows what wonders come to pass. Doors they move, and gates they hide, mischiefs that on moonbeams ride are their deeds, and by their spell, love recorded by the oracle. Don't we all of long ago by the ruddy fireplace glow in the kitchens and the halls, those queer, coof-like dances are recalled. We once again invite you to our release party to make magical mysteries and memories of your own in Club Sidious, Obsidious. Yeah, they have a lovely poster there. Doesn't look scary at all, does it? The directions, it's an underground player-owned town. It's nested in Soul Town. So if you can get to Soul Town, you're halfway there. The entrance is a hatch. It's right by the entrance to the overworld. If you see a hatch just on your way out of town, that's where it is. It'll be in Club Sidious, which is in an obsidian inn in the centre of town. So when you enter, just go straight forward to the town centre, past the confirmatory, enter the obsidian inn directly behind the confirmatory, and up to the roof. That's where the party is. So there you are. Now you know exactly where to go. And yeah, a few nice screenshots to show you the way. Absolutely brilliant. All right, another community event. There will be a fishing derby this Saturday, October the 27th. At 1 p.m. Central, there's over 200,000 in prizes. Okay, that is worth getting. And the message is, come one, come all, to celebrate the new fish that have sprung up within Novia. Compete for great prizes. The first prize is 100,000 gold. I'll take that any day.
Sure.
Yeah. Second prize is 50,000. Third is 25,000. As a special, either you could have a crafted home of your choice or a crafted grand piano with meteoric iron piano wire. That would take a lot of work to craft.
Sure.
I don't know what characteristics it gives the piano to have meteoric iron.
I haven't made one like that.
Yeah, but there you go. They can do that for you. This is absolutely amazing. And the best part of it, the entry fee is pay what you can. So, yeah, whatever you feel. If you are a beginner player and you're starting out and you've got like next to nothing in your pocket, I remember those days, walking around with almost nothing. Well, the entry fee would probably be almost nothing. If you're rich and you can pay a lot, well, you might feel moved to pay a lot. But the entry fee is pay what you can. There is a fishing vendor on site, but see if you can dig up new bait before you come. All poles and bait are allowed, whatever you can bring. Now, as for Smart Factorium, okay, you're asking me where that is. The answer is it's on the world map. So it is on the overworld map. It is by Resolute. So Resolute is sort of up north from Jarnaford. So that's where it is, and that's where it's going to be happening. Brilliant. And not only but also there's another community event, a Halloween ball in Immortal City. This is a forum post by Elaine Dragonfire. They're having a Halloween ball this Friday. Now, got to be careful about this because it is Friday. And by the time this hits the airwaves, it might have happened already.
That might be over.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Friday, October 26th, 8 p.m. to midnight. Okay. How does that work out?
You got 2 hours.
Terrific. Okay.
2 hours time of right now. So yeah, by the time people hear this, it's probably over.
Okay. All right. But worth mentioning anyway. That's it. Look, those few dedicated people who got the insight and the smarts to watch us live, they
go now.
Yeah, that's right. They get all the inside goss.
Turn us off and go.
Yes, exactly. Okay, right. There is a best costume contest. First prize is 20 kotos. There's a drunken maze race, which is also 20 kotos. And it's at Chaotica, Immortal Sith. It's nested in Silverdale. Right, so if you can find Silverdale, go there and you're looking for Immortal, you're looking for Chaotica. Through the main gate and then go left. And If you wander around there looking lost, I am sure that somebody will help you. Brilliant. So there we are. Immortal City. Sorry, not Sith. Okay, Immortal City. That's where it is. All right. And yet again, another community event. They would like our help to design the S-Smart heraldry. Okay, this is by Vladimir Begamot. S-Smart needs your help. We've been hemming and hawing about our heraldry for quite some time. Couldn't get it right, so they're running a contest. Now, see below, there's a screenshot or two here. Basically, it looks like a chap sitting by the fire in a nice easy chair. Right, there's a nice easy chair. There's a fireplace in the background. Ta-da. So there we go. I think that's the general theme that they'd like. What they're sort of saying is, yeah, the person should be more of a lounge, comfortable pajama style outfit. Should also be more comfortable, lounging back and reading, maybe with one leg crossed over the other. We think that no background is better for heraldry. Okay. Put the empty chair pick in for reference. I do like the brown suede chair, but different styles are fine. And a thought was also having a window frame that the viewer is looking through. He doesn't like that. Viola does, but if you go for that and that's best, well, we'll use it. Okay. If you want to throw in some joke heraldry or something totally different that you think might work, that's fine. Go for it. Post here a 256 by 256 PNG. That's what will be being judged, as that's what you upload to the heraldry server. The winner has to agree that the work becomes our property. That's S-Smart's property to use as we please. You don't have to include the source files, but they'll appreciate it if you do. And they will use it to make a real footer in their forum posts, like a watermark or a logo, etc. Right, the contest closes on November the 5th. They'll announce the winner on November the 6th. And it's worth doing. It's worth putting a bit of creative effort into it because the winner gets 50 kotos. And that's pretty significant. So there you are. If you have an artistic flair, if you're creative, if something jumps out and speaks to you about what they're trying to do and what you could suggest or offer as a bit of heraldry for them, go for it. You could be 50 kotos richer. Awesome. Okay. And yet more community events. They're popping out of the woodwork all over. There's a Halloween dance party and a costume contest. This is a forum post by Sienna. Okay, so where is it? It's at Alisar's Forest, which is the Druids. That's at the Druids Den Social Hall, right? It's on Saturday, October 27th. That's for everybody except me. That's tomorrow, right? And the time is 4 to 8 p.m. Central Time, Gaydon Time, New Britannian Time, whatever. So a happy Halloween dance party and a costume contest. Wear a costume, be eligible for the prize drawings. Now, judging will take place in the first 2 hours of the event. So if you want to participate, please come during the first 2 hours. They'll be enjoying music with special Halloween-themed songs from Avatar Radio's DJ Fionn Wildmane. Lovely. The first prize, this is getting better and better. The first prize is a taxable player-owned town village lot deed plus an elven house. If you don't have a place to live and you love a place to live, yeah, they'll set you up completely. You got a deed plus a house. House. Right. Okay. The second prize is a creepy doll. Oh, it's just what I always wanted. And 7 carved pumpkins from the add-on store. Nice. And the third prize is a creepy doll. And honourable mentions, another 5 contestants will get 2 kotos each as honourable mentions. Hope to see you all there. Okay, so, well, the question, how do we get there? It sounds wonderful. Love to go. I know that, I am so outstanding and so brilliantly attractive. I'm going to win first prize. How do I get there? The answer is Alice's Forest is nested in central Brittany. Okay. Get yourself to central Brittany. If you take the west entrance, which is the default, by the way, apparently, into central Brittany, you'll see some covered wagons on your right. The first one on the left is labelled Forest. There you go.
And
you are there.
A couple other things. Another option to get there is send a friend invite to Odd Job, ODDJOB, and
Yep.
that's me. And Odd Job accepts all friend invites automatically, no questions asked. So he'll accept your friend invite, and he will be at a house directly across from the Druid's house, circle, whatever it's called there. And then just teleport to Odd Job, and then you'll basically can run there at that point. I have 2 vendors by request set up for the event directly across from the Druid's place. One is a Halloween spooky decor that you might want to use for Halloween decorations. And then the other vendor is things that you might want to use for costumes, clothing, hats, cloaks, handheld items, that sort of thing. So
Brilliant.
both of the vendors are stocked at the moment. I've loaded them up. During this event, from start to finish, the entire 4 hours, I'll be at those vendors. I'll have a mailbox with me. I'll have my bank with me that I'm going to drop there, and I'm going to open my bank up. I'm going to open my items on vendor list from the bank. So I'll be able to see all my items on all my 30 or 40 or however many vendors it is I run in the game. And anything that anyone's looking for, just say, hey, do you have one of these? And I'll either say, nope, go away. Or I'll say, yep, and I'll drop it to the bank from the vendor player list. I'll pull it out and I'll put it on the vendor for you.
Now, that's service. That's fantastic. So brilliant. So look, this opens it up even more. I mean, you might be thinking like me, well, I haven't really got any costumes or anything fancy or anything for Halloween. There you go. It's all there for you. And
I don't have everything, but I'm putting a pretty good load on there. And like I said, I'll be taking requests. For those that don't know, I have some pretty massive inventory listings. It's almost impossible to have everything, but I have a lot.
Great. And if you're looking at possibly winning a village lot deed and an elven house to go on it, it's worth going there. So there you are. And if you arrive in town at either the docks or the central bridge, you turn to your left. That's due south. Follow the water's edge till you hit the 3-story elven tree home, which is Party Central. And I'm sure there'll be a mob there you can follow. All right. There's a project to support, The Dreams in Gary's Basement. Okay, I don't think I've heard of this one before.
I saw that Richard Garriott backed it a couple days ago.
Nice. Okay. It's a documentary on Gary Gygax. The story is Gary is a down-on-his-luck shoe repairman. But when he pursues his passion for fantasy games, it takes him on a real-life adventure. Now, Gary Gygax was one of the great minds of the 20th century, apparently. His innovations have influenced generations of artists and spawned tens of billions of dollars in global revenue. With Dungeons & Dragons, Gary crafted a vehicle for engaging the mind at a creative, analytical, social, and even emotional level, all at the same time. There's truly nothing else like it. Gary's work has woven itself into the fabric of our culture, yet there is no monument to recognise him, not even in his own hometown. We intend this project to be a filmic monument of sorts, a high-quality, emotionally engaging record of Gary's story that can be appreciated by gamers and non-gamers alike for generations to come. That sounds fascinating.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
And
I have a
go. Sorry, go.
customer. I have a customer I know, and he lives fairly close to me now. That I've gotten to know him is every convention. I swear, I don't care. I feel like if I decided tonight, you know what? I feel like going to Austin next weekend for the hell of it. I'm going to sign up for a convention there and just spend a few days there. If I decided to do that right now and went and signed up, I swear to God, when I'm in Austin next week, this guy would be there. He would come by my booth and, hey, good to see you, get around. Yeah, you know, I like to support convention. He'd be, I don't care what convention I go to, he always shows up. I traveled 5 states and he's showing up at 5 different states.
Yeah.
And he actually grew up on the same street with Gary Gygax, and he was a friend of Gary Gygax's, which, you know, obviously explains why he's so into gaming and conventions. Gary.
Yeah.
He's one of only I think it's like 6 people alive, 8 people alive, or something like that, that went to the very first Gen Con and has been to every had to current. He's never missed a Gen Con in the history of Gen Cons. There's only a handful of people in the world alive that, you know. And yeah, I mean, he's got great stories about Gary. You know, and that's, like I said, I was saying, I got to know him from a convention, but he comes by, and each time I meet him, I'm talking to him for a bit. And, you know, I'll be talking about this or that thing, and he'll have a, you know, oh yeah, I have a story about that. You know, I knew Gary, and it's just, he's got great stories and stuff, and everybody knows him no matter where. You know, he's like Norm on Cheers. If you've ever seen the American TV show Cheers, Norm was
yes.
walking the bar with Norm. He's like that in the gaming community because he gets around so much. Because I'd never really met him in the past, and I've gotten to know him now from, you know, vending, and that's the other thing. I swear he buys something from every booth. He'll go around, and
really?
It might be something small, but he wants to support everyone that's in that industry in every booth. And he's really cool like that. But he's got the greatest stories about Gary Gygax. I'm sure the documentary is going to be fantastic.
Oh, that's brilliant. There you go. That's the whole story of it. And well worth supporting. So, a little link there. You can join the Kickstarter now. Excellent. Okay, another project to support. Dragons and Dragonkin, the colouring book. Now, this is the artist's second colouring book, this time celebrating all manner of dragons and dragonkin with all new original pieces. This is Indy Martin. Brilliant artist, absolutely wonderful, of Tortoise and Hare Creations, who illustrated our Shroud of the Avatar comic books and successfully created an awesome adult colouring book. She's running her second Kickstarter. This is Dragons and Dragonkin, the Kickstarter campaign for my second colouring book. And in October 2016, she says, I finally kickstarted my first colouring book. I love doing line art, and inks, and have fielded several requests to pursue one, but I wanted to wait until I found a theme I could really sink my teeth into. I love themes. That theme was dangerous women, and 84 wonderful backers helped bring it to life. The original goal was a 24 illustration colouring book, but stretch goals helped bring it up to 40. Awesome.
I was just looking. I thought I had a copy of that down here, and I did. I did have a copy of that down here, but I recently put one out in my free little library. I have my free library out front of my house.
Oh, right. Yes.
I decided to donate a copy of her first coloring book to the library for someone to have.
Brilliant. But that's wonderful of you.
I carry it. I've sold a few copies of it. Obviously, not being the artist myself, you know, people tend to buy from the artist when they're buying an artist product.
Sure.
It doesn't sell as well for me as it would for her. But I love having it. I've had a lot of opportunities to talk to people. You know, they'll come up, they'll look at it, they'll ask for a little bit more info. I get to tell them about Indy, some of the different projects she's done, you know, that sort of thing. And sometimes they'll pick one up and that sort of thing. Now, the one that really excites me about this Kickstarter, and you're already aware of this, of course, is that right now this month is for her Halloween Inktober, where, you know, each day of the month she does a different piece of original art that's an inked piece. She puts it on Patreon and gives her patrons an opportunity to purchase that first come, first serve. So whoever says first, I want that at a reduced price. And then if none of the patrons buy it, the next day it becomes available to the public. Of course, not many things get to the next day. And as you can imagine, depending on the piece, sometimes there's a lot of patrons going, man, I was too slow to get that. And that,
Yeah.
you know, meanwhile, you got the other person going, I got that. And, you know, so you win some, you lose some, so forth. And of course, we're almost at the end of the month. It's the 26th. She only has a few days left. And I've only purchased one piece from her this month. I've only claimed one. And the one I claimed, I think it was on our second day. And it is the cover that you're seeing there that's advertising the comic book. It is that dragon on that hoard of treasure as the 11 by, I think it's a 14 by 17 watercolor. I claim that. So after, you know, the end of the month and she gets things done and is ready to ship stuff out, I'll get that piece. I'm excited.
Good on you. It's a beautiful piece too.
It is. It's been my favorite.
Really
She's
lovely.
had a lot of pieces she's done this month I've really liked. Of course, depending on time, she'll do, you know, different levels of details. There's been some she's done where the detail is just like, I'm like, how can you sell that for that much? It's too much work. But so far, this has been my favorite, so I'm pretty happy.
Fantastic. Okay. So, yeah, that has been one of her best sellers at conventions. Awesome. Not surprising. And she says, I knew I wanted to tackle another coloring book, but again, wanted to wait till I felt drawn to a theme that could sustain at least 40 pieces. Now, as fantasy illustration has become a larger chunk of my work over the last few years, I knew it would be down that path. And once it hit me, it seemed so obvious. I always joke that none of my dragons look more than tangentially related. They're my favorite creature on which to practice new shading techniques, new shapes, scales, feathers, anything really. So for Inktober this year, I wanted to do some of that experimentation, but also drill down a bit to see if there was a recognizably indie dragon type in there somewhere too. Also struck me as the perfect theme for my next coloring book, Dragons and Dragonkin. And a little link there to support Indy. You can join the Kickstarter and help her on the way towards this. Looks fabulous.
I kickstarted that also. I've participated in that one.
Good man. That's fantastic. Good. It's brilliant. Okay, finally, resources, players helping players. Well, we've got the new player welcome forum, as we have the player created resources forum, links to both of those. If you're a new player, if you're struggling, if you don't know what the hell's going on, answers to just about all of your questions will be there. And by the way, players are always happy to help you out. They really are. And there's also a community resources page for a complete listing of everything community. Okay, and that is about the end of the news for the week.
That wraps up the news. I don't have any show and tells or anything like that, just because I kind of already did them throughout the thing. Told a few different stories about a few pieces there.
Sure.
Kind of gave you the history of my fishing dust there and so forth. And you know, I could go into a little bit. I could go into some more stories like where I got this from and that sort of thing, but that's just going to bore people. So.
Sure.
I think my exciting one is that, you know, that leaving off on the coloring book there, when I do get that original piece in eventually, I'll be sure I'll show that off on a show episode so everyone can check it out in detail.
That'd be lovely. Really look forward to seeing that. That'll be great.
It's called Serenity, and there was a comment made by someone that of all the people that could have bought that, they don't know anyone better that it was more fitting for.
Really?
Yeah, in reference to, you look around the room in here, and you obviously see that I have a particular likeness for my hordes, and what you see currently is how my entire home is. There is not a room or a spot in my entire house on 3 different levels that is not as full. Walls, ceiling as you see, the whole home's like that. And it's not all like, oh, Styles a hoarder. I run a home business too, so You'll even find throughout my home, oh, wow, that's a really nice piece on the wall there. And I might be like, honestly, I don't own that. My business owns that. It's inventory. And that was a nice, safe place to put it until I get inspired for it. So sometimes there's not a lot of that going on. But literally, there are a couple of pieces, the Indy Martin Shields, for instance, because they're big.
Yes.
And wide. I don't want them knocked over. I don't want them scratched out. I found a place where I could kind of put them against the wall and put like a things on the side that would keep them from sliding without actually doing anything to put them somewhere until someone purchases those, as safety. So, and more that's happening. I got a dresser on the second floor of my house. That's in the, I just got this spot that's like a weird nook turn area in the house and nothing really fits there. And so I threw an old dresser there and I never really used it for anything. It's becoming nothing but dice storage. So that's one of the disadvantages of having a home business. Be warned if you're married and your spouse's mind tolerates it begrudgingly. But yeah, because of that, someone that's been in my home and has spent time around me said, yeah, that out of everyone that could have gotten that particular one from Indy, which I had called to me. I mean, that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that would just about wind us up, I think. So I will take us out. The wonderful background music for the podcast is by Stephen J. Goldman. The song is entitled Dark Planet. Also, thanks to Style Tackle for the technical work on the broadcast. Thanks to Amber Okan for broadcasting the newscast on Avatars Radio. Don't forget, Avatars Radio needs your support to keep the magic of this podcast, events, and music going. Visit their page at avatarsradio.info and click on the Patreon link. So this is Asclepius and... signing off until next week with Echoes from the Caverns.
All good there?
Okay. Yeah, you just had a bit of a dropout there.
Experienced a little bit of lag. I've noticed there's been a time or two that you kind of stuck and lagged for a few seconds here and there.
Right.
That might be on my end due to some issues I'm having with the laptop that are being this weekend.
Okay. All right.
Out of space. I don't know if that's going to cause a little bit of lag here or there. Or
yeah. Don't know what it is. Yep. Okay. All right. But I think we can make something good out of that. Great. Thanks for that.
I'm going to shut down the live.
Okay.